Your father's life is a matter of public record, yet he told us, just as you did, that he knew very, very little about his father's past. Mm-hmm. Now, apparently your grandfather just didn't talk about his past. Why do you think that's true?
Well, I don't necessarily think it was unusual. If you think about what it would take to get to this country at that time, to make a new life for yourself. I asked my grandfather once, I said, did you know anybody when you came? And he said, no. I mean, I was probably a teenager. I couldn't imagine even going somewhere and not getting on an airplane and knowing where, you know, being met. And I said, well, what happened when you got off the boat? And he said, well, he said there were always people there. There were chaps, you know, he was from Jamaica. Mm-hmm. There were chaps who would show you where you could live and where you could work, because it was a segregated country that he was coming into. And so he said, so they took me to Harlem, mm-hmm. and showed him a boarding house and showed him where you could get a job. But, you know, what it takes to leave everything and make a whole new life without the kinds of communications that we now have, I think perhaps you commit to that new life. Mm-hmm. That new life requires all of your energies. And then when you begin to raise a family, and he and my grandmother were very, very, very devoted to my father. They were a very, very nuclear unit. Mm-hmm. That is your life. He also became someone who was a very helpful figure in Harlem. When he passed away, I can't tell you how many people at his funeral came up and said, your grandfather gave me advice about starting a patty stand. Your grandfather gave me help with this. He really, really, really was a community person, mm-hmm. In the present. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's where all the energy goes. I mean, you know, maybe there are sadnesses too. You leave your mother and you never see her again. Mm-hmm. So who knows if that was part of it, or if maybe those stories were just not for children. Mm-hmm. You know, if those were grown-ups' business. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm-hmm.